is up, everybody, and welcome back to another Marvel Monday with the Nerdy Misfit crew. Me and Matt here again.
Hello, welcome. We are starting Phase 3 today with arguably one of the best movies. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Captain America Civil War, aka Captain America 3.
AKA Avengers
2.5.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
We got IMDb of 7.8 out of 10. We got Rotten Tomatoes of 90% critic, 89% audience. Budget $250 million. What did it make? $1.155 billion.
Sheesh.
Directed by the Russo brothers. They're back at it again. And the release date was May 6, 2016. So almost 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
This movie. Cast, I'm not going to list everyone else. You just got to know that there's Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Winter Soldier,
the
Falcon, War
Avengers.
Machine,
And some new guys.
And the only new people that you need to know about really is Spider-Man comes, Black Panther comes here, Everett K. Ross, and Helmut Zemo.
Yeah.
That's all you really need to know. All the other characters we've seen before in other movies.
It's true. So I guess quickly going over the plot of the film. Generally, it goes
where
it kind of really follows the Winter Soldier pretty well, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of Wanda messes up, which then causes the push for the Sokovian Accords,
Which was more like the last straw.
Yeah,
Because when the Accords get mentioned, they literally discuss all of the Avengers level events already. And like adding up and then being like, and then this.
yeah,
So it's not the real reason. It's more like the straw that broke the camel's back that gets these Accords on the go. And this causes a big little wedge into the relationship of some of the Avengers.
yes.
Notably, Tony
The
Stark
big two.
and Captain America.
Big cheeses.
Steve Rogers. This is actually based off of a comic book, a very popular comic story. Very loosely.
Very loosely.
Like, it does feel like its name alone, in which some parts is almost like one of my dislikes, because I think the Civil War comic story is amazing.
This is nothing like the story, basically, and there's big moments that happen, and just
the MCU was not ready for the level of drama intensity that happens in the real Civil War.
Exactly.
We just don't have it. We just don't have enough characters really at that point in the MCU. I do, however, enjoy their
take on it.
Yeah, their take on it and kind of paying homage to some elements of it. But yeah, this wedge ends up being like one of the big things throughout the entire movie. And something else that really throws that bigger wedge is that there's the Winter Soldier who is being framed or being blamed or is supposedly the person who caused the terrorist attack on like the big signing for the Accords or whatever was happening, which ends up killing King T'Challa, right?
His father.
But isn't that technically King T'Challa still?
I guess, yeah. I think he has a different name, but
kills Black Panther's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Who technically would have been Black Panther.
At the time, yeah, he would have been Black Panther. Pre-Black Panther, Black Panther.
Yeah. And obviously this is what ends up bringing in Chadwick Boseman, who does a fantastic job, rest in peace, as the Black Panther.
Yeah.
And his character arc is all focused on revenge. He wants to get revenge on the Winter Soldier because he believes the Winter Soldier is the person who killed his dad. That's one little side arc going on throughout this story. The main arc is that we're following this discussion between saving the Winter Soldier and obviously taking him in or alive or dead, basically.
Yeah.
Where Steve, obviously, Bucky is his best friend. He's like, it's not him, blah, 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 blah. And we end up basically having Steve and his kind of little group of the Avengers being like, I am not about these Accords. I think this is not it. And / I will say some of them kind of just follow Steve because it's Steve.
It's Steve, yeah.
I do feel like a lot of the people on Tony's side are more people who are thinking kind of
logically.
Yeah, they're more thinking less emotion involved, and they aren't people that will just blindly follow Tony. Not too many people probably would. They're more like this. I believe this, and this is why I'm on this side. And we end up just following. It's kind of like a chase scenes in a lot of way. Like it's like a kind of like a
it's a cat and mouse situation, really.
Yeah, and we're just kind of following Steve chasing the Winter Soldier, catching, then the group's finding them, then kind of separating, and then finding again. And it kind of just repeats itself until we end up at a point where an ultimatum is basically given to Tony, where he's like, you need to get Steve Rogers like in line now, or he's donezo. Yeah, like he's also done.
Yeah.
Like he's going with the Winter Soldier. And then we have a big, cool kind of clash at a German airport. I believe they're in Germany.
Something like that, yeah.
And we see like a little mini Avengers v Avengers fight, which for on screen is epic.
Yeah,
but in comic books, it's way bigger.
It's so much bigger. Such a bigger fight. We see in the comics, we see different teams of X-Men's fighting. We see the Avengers fighting. We see
like the term war. It feels appropriate
so much
for
more
that
real.
one, but that one it feels more like a fight.
Yeah,
it's like
civil disagreement.
Civil fight.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously they get away, and then they find each other, and then they all get arrested.
Big reveal of how Tony's parents died.
Yep. Plot twist: Bucky did it.
Bucky did it under obviously.
Sorry, the Winter Soldier did it.
Yeah, we'll separate him via that. The Winter Soldier did it, but obviously Bucky doesn't.
Yeah.
He remembers everyone he's killed, but he would never had control.
Exactly.
And obviously Steve Rogers is like, no, it wasn't him. Like it was, but it wasn't. And Tony don't like that, and then it basically ends with an Avengers breakup in a way.
Yep. And there's an epic fight between Iron Man, Captain America, and Bucky.
It's a good fight.
Exactly.
So, what are your likes for the
on-screen
film,
chemistry? Super simple, but everyone has on-screen chemistry. We have characters that
obviously have been together already, acting-wise.
But even just like the smaller scenes of like Wanda and Hawkeye, like those have really good on-screen chemistry that we kind of see.
Yeah.
Sprinkled in with Age of Ultron, just all around, and for as long as the film was minute-wise, did not feel long. Like the story, I was so engaged. There wasn't any.
I actually thought it was shorter. When I checked, I was in my positives. I was gonna say they fit a lot in for a short film. Then I looked at how long the film was, and I was like, it's not a short film.
No, it's an over 2-hour film. Yeah, but it doesn't like the pacing is spot on. Like there's never a moment where I'm like, can we move on to the next scene?
And there is a lot. A lot is jam packed.
Yeah, but they did it really well. So I will say that was well done to the writers and the way it was shot and everything like that. How about you? What do you got for likes?
Likes, it has that Avengers level feel, that just epicness to it, if you will, knowing that all these characters are in this film. I feel like that just automatically makes it feel like it matters more. When you have all of these, not just because of they're the heroes, but they're all like all these A-list actors coming together for one project. It just feels
so much bigger. Yeah.
Spider-Man. Tom Holland's first appearance as Spider-Man is in this, and I thought he did a great job. Thought he was great. Obviously, there's a lot of clips floating around nowadays, which is that originally the Russo brothers basically wrote out most of Tom's lines in the film, and Robert Downey Jr. is the one who made sure that he pretty much got all of them back.
Which is
crazy.
I
think for the best.
Yeah.
It was really well done, and it helps lead into Homecoming a lot better because of that, I think. It
really does.
Especially with Tony's relationship, which we'll talk about in
Spider-Man
Homecoming. Lots of lore.
Yeah.
But lore galore. We get a little bit of lore for Black Panther. We get lore for Tony and his parents. We get lore for Bucky. We get lore for Spider-Man.
We literally get a little bit of everything. We see lore for the government even. We see
because for the Accords. And,
like I'm kind of jumping ahead, but like the importance of this film, because we see the raft, which is like where they keep prisoners and stuff like that.
Yeah, the massive like super villain prison.
Exactly.
And they end up putting Avengers in.
Yeah, that's it, It's crazy because this film introduces Black Panther and Spider-Man on top of already having all these characters already in it.
Who will go on to have great films, respectively.
Individually, yeah. But they do it in such a way that, like, I don't know, the joke is obviously, like, Spider-Man shows up, he gets his butt kicked near the end, and he goes, like, all right, I'm good. And Iron Man's like, no, kid, like, you're done. And you're like, all right, I'm done. And the way that's written in is because you don't see Spider-Man for the rest of the film, essentially.
Yeah.
And you're like, that is well done for that aspect.
Yeah.
Because as the audience, you're like, okay, cool. Like, you had Spider-Man sprinkled in, but it wasn't, like, overused.
Well, and he had his little quips, and I thought it was really well designed. You obviously have the Easter egg to the underoos for the Spider-Man underwear when Tony calls for him to show up. It's really well done. The fight choreography and action choreography were fantastic. Feels like a really staple for most the Captain America films, honestly.
I agree.
Like they just always seem to hit. And I said that the young RDJ looked
crazy,
epic.
On how well the special effects actually did for that.
It was so well done. Anything else that you liked, Matt, that we left out?
I mean, I can jump into my favorite moments quick.
Yeah, let's jump into the favorite moments.
But obviously the helicopter scene, phenomenal.
Yep.
Love Spider-Man's quippiness, especially with like the Star Wars jokes. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Just Spider-Man's scene in the fight in general, like him showing up for the fight, having his kind of 5 seconds on the camera, kind of thing like that. It was good. And then obviously the best moment being the fight between Iron Man, Cap, and Bucky. There's so much like oomph that goes into that scene.
The shield passing was epic.
The shield passing, just Cap ripping out the little heart of Iron Man, like
Tony telling him to leave the shield, it's not his.
Yeah, like there's so many like one lines that hits. That whole scene is just full on emotion, like all around between dialogue,
especially
the choreography.
Like Tony went there as a friend to help Steve.
Yeah.
Like he at the end he was like, "What we're doing, I believe is right, but the way we're doing it is wrong."
Agreed.
And he puts his not an easy thing for Tony Stark, but he puts his ego aside to be like, "I'm helping a friend."
Yeah. And
that
it
all
gets
it all gets broken, and he can't control himself because, well, that's his parents. And even though he may have not had the best relationship with his parents, those are still his parents, and he loved them.
Exactly.
And it's very emotional. I have down one of my favorite scenes is obviously the iconic helicopter scene.
Yeah, it's so good
with Chris Evans. That is just
knowing that he did that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just makes it so much more insane.
Obviously, final fight, insane, like you mentioned.
Yep.
The airport fight is fun. A little dramatic at the end there too, as well, paying homage to the original Civil War in some ways.
Yep.
With a dramatic end. And I also wrote down that their promo was really fun for this film because this film they were doing a promo where are you Team Cap or are you Team Iron Man?
Yeah.
And you could tweet or like do stuff on Instagram. And I remember I did tweet that I was Team Iron Man. And I got a mention from Paul Rudd,
Ayo,
where he's calling me out by name. Now, obviously, they probably picked out common names that were responding, but by name saying like he was disappointed that I picked Team Iron Man and that he never liked me anyways. I found a YouTube link that I'll give to Matt to maybe put in post of Paul Rudd saying that, but that was pretty epic. I thought that was
crazy,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Connor, you chose Team Iron Man. Well, I never liked you.
Yeah, the marketing for this was good. Even like watching the trailer, they cut certain people out of the airport scene, so you didn't know who was all in there and stuff like that.
And who was on what team.
Exactly.
But obviously, Matt, are you Team Iron Man or are you Team Cap?
I'm always Team Iron Man.
Yeah, I'm also
Civil War 1 and Civil War 2.
Yeah, Team Iron Man.
Team Iron Man.
It just, especially when you come from reading the comic book, like the reasoning for the Accords, especially in the comic book, like it's is the way that Team Iron Man goes around everything correct? No, absolutely not. But do you agree with the general idea that they're supporting? Yes. That's why I'm Team Iron Man.
That's so fair.
Going on to the dislikes quick. Biggest dislike is obviously just a nitpick that they're basing it off the comic and that it's not exactly even that close. More like an homage to it.
Yeah, inspired by.
And trying to bait in a lot of the comic book fans by having the name. That's probably.
And it did, so.
And importance to the MCU. We got to see Scarlet Witch and Vision together, which obviously they have a trilogy TV show.
Yeah.
Technically about them. We have more on the Falcon as part of the Avengers along with Scarlet Witch and Vision. So that's obviously going to play a bigger role later.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Sokovia Accords. We have Black Panther. We got Everett Ross. We got Spider-Man. We got Cap and Iron Man breaking up. What's going to happen? How is this going to affect the future?
Yep.
We've got more Hydra. There's always Hydra. There's always Hydra. But I feel like those are probably the biggest
ones. The only ones I have left is Everett Ross, who comes back in the Black Panther films, Baron Zemo, who comes back in future projects, first appearance of Giant Man, which is not important. It's and then obviously Friday, which is the new
Tony Stark AI. Yep. Easter egg for Stan Lee cameo is that he's the FedEx driver at the end of the movie. Tony Stank.
Yeah. Big Easter eggs. Obviously the Spider-Man signal at the end for the post-credit scene. Cap saying, "I could do this all day." It's the signature line, and that line is so good. Obviously, the Sokovia Accords is very important. And also the droid from that Falcon has is called Red Wing, because in the comics, Falcon has a literal falcon that goes with him named Red Wing. Then we got 2 post-credit scenes. We got the one, like I said, Spider-Man getting his classic logo signal device at the end.
Teasing that there'll be a Spider-Man movie.
Yep.
And then we got Bucky in Wakanda being put to sleep to help fix his mind.
Exactly.
And yeah, that was Captain America Civil War, the 3rd film of the Steve Rogers Captain America trilogy. Tune in next week as we talk about Doctor Strange. See you then.
Bye.